Welcome back to the channel, guys. In today's upload we are going to be going over tips and tricks to improve your accuracy on Modern Warfare. Having good accuracy is one of the key aspects to be able to be a very successful player. When you're looking to get better at Call of Duty, you should look at these three things. You should pay attention to your movement, your map knowledge, and your accuracy. But the number one thing that you guys should focus on is your accuracy. Accuracy is pretty much everything. If you can't hit your shots, then it doesn't matter if you know the map super good or if you can move really good, because you won't be able to kill the enemy. So in today's video, I want to go over all of my tips and tricks that I know on how to improve your accuracy. And before this video starts, I just want to say, if this is your first time to the channel and you're looking to get better at Call of Duty, I highly recommend you hit the subscribe button. I guarantee you, if you hit that red button, you will get better at Call of Duty, and you could help me reach 1K subscribers. I am about like 200 and something off. That'd be awesome if you guys can help me. And if you guys enjoyed this video at any point, a like is always appreciated. But without further ado, let's get right into this video. The first thing you want to do if you're looking to improve your accuracy on Call of Duty is head over to your settings and pay attention to your sensitivity and your aim assist. So for me, I like to do 7. This is all personal preference. For the low zoom and the high zoom, previously I had like 0.95 and then 0.9 for the high zoom, but for some reason I just felt too slow. I didn't really like it, and so I increased it back up to 1, and now I've been performing a lot better. So if one day you're not playing as good as you usually would, you're just missing lots of bullets, you're not performing that good, I recommend going into your settings and try messing around with your settings. I wouldn't drastically mess with them. For example, my low zoom, it used to be on 0.95, but recently I haven't been performing that well, so I moved it up to 1.0, and I've been hitting more shots than I have before. For the aim response script type, I like to do a dynamic. This is all up to you guys. There's lots of videos on YouTube explaining all of these settings, so I recommend just finding one that works best for you. For the controller vibration, I highly recommend you guys turn this off. If you have enabled, it might feel better, you might feel like a better player, but I guarantee you, if you play for a full day with disabled, or if you're just a casual player, play on disabled for about like a week, and I guarantee you your accuracy will improve. And I say this because it pretty much makes sense. Like, if something's vibrating in your hand, you should be missing some shots because your hand is vibrating. But if your hand isn't vibrating, nothing's moving on your controller except for your fingers, then you should be able to hit more shots. For the aim assist, I like to do standard. Recently, focusing got a big buff. It's like way stronger than it was before, but at close range it kind of gets a little bit messed up, and I was noticing that in my close range engagements. That's why I moved it back to standard. And that's going to wrap it up for the settings portion of this video. And now let's get into tip number 2. For tip number 2, I recommend you guys to go into a custom game. Choose whichever map you want. If you want to practice your long distance engagements, choose like Arc Log Peak. But if you want to practice your close range engagements, choose like Speedball or Shoe House. Once you choose the map you want to play on, go over to the modes. I recommend doing free-for-all. This is going to be your best option. And then once you choose the free-for-all, make it so it just lasts forever. You can choose the game rules all the way up to like 100 points. Just make it so this game lasts for a long time. And then you want to go over to the bots, and you want to put the most bots as you can. And the difficulty doesn't really matter. I'm just going to have mine on regular. And then back over to the game rules. This part is key to improving your accuracy on Call of Duty. So you want to go over to the bots health. So max health, you want to increase to 300. So now the bots have 100 health, and this means you will have to hit them a lot more times to kill them. And since you have to hit them a lot more times, that means you can practice hitting more shots on them. Usually it only takes like 3 bullets to kill your enemy, but if it takes like 9 shots, then that means you can really practice your accuracy on those enemies. So the weapon I want to practice is the Galil and then the Gra. This is like one of my Warzone classes. So now I'm pretty much just going to play against these bots. I'm going to play until I get to 100 kills. You can set it to like 200 kills, 300 kills, doesn't really matter. I'm just going to practice, and I'm going to play against these bots, and as you guys can see, it takes more bullets to kill them. Like, my accuracy right now is really bad, but if I keep on doing this for a while, my accuracy should heavily increase because I have to hit my enemies way more times than I would if they only had like 100 health. So if you guys do this for like an hour every day, I guarantee you your accuracy will heavily increase. It's not the most fun thing, like it's kind of boring, but if you want to get better at the game, this is what you got to do. And you can pretty much choose whichever class you want. Like right now I'm not playing too good, but it's just because I'm trying to talk, and when I talk I don't play that good. You also can practice your movement. You can practice doing like slide cancels, like snaking. You can practice everything on this. Oh, and while you're playing this, you can figure out like what your best aim assist is. So if you're playing on standard, you can play this for a while. You can get like 100 kills on standard. Then after that, you can play on linear and then dynamic and see which one you perform the best on. And since the enemies have 300 health, you should be able to find exactly which one works best for you. Okay, now for tip number 3. This is one that's very, very crucial. You want to train your guy to always be able to do this. Well, I guess not your guy, but train yourself to always do this. And that is to aim at the center of your screen. So like not always aim, but like always look in the center of your screen. So like right now I'm running, this dot is going to be in the center of my screen. You guys can see it's right here. I want to keep this in the center of my screen no matter where. I see lots of players where they're just running like this and their dot's down here. So when they ADS, they're going to be looking at the ground. But if your dot is up here, then when you ADS, it's going to be up on their chest. Always keep this dot at least in this level. Don't let it go like up here and down here. I'm going to keep my screen right in the center. I can do the slide cancels. I'm always going to keep it in the center, so I can be ready for any gunfight that I encounter. And so I'm going to run up the stairs. I'm going to keep my dot up here and run through the doorway. over here. You can also like ADS and stuff, just always just try to keep your dot right in the center. That's just one thing you really want to focus on. This is what all the pro players do. This is like one of the biggest recommendations that they say to improve your aim, is just to keep the dot in the center of your screen. Okay, now tip number 4. This one is you want to know the recoil pattern of your weapon. So if you're trying out a new weapon and you're not performing too well with it, you want to just go into a custom game and just shoot at a wall and see what the recoil pattern is. So on the Galil, it goes up and goes over to the right, as you guys can see. And so now I know I have to pull down and to the left a little bit to be able to control that recoil. So right here, I'm going to pull down and to the left a little bit, and it should just be in a general circle. Yeah, so now it's all in this circle instead of being all up and wavy. So that's just one big thing. Know the recoil pattern of your weapon so you know how to control it. What you can also do when you're shooting at your enemies, if they're far away or the recoil pattern on the gun is very bad, you can actually do like a burst shot on them. So if an enemy is coming over here, I can like shoot 3 bullets, stop, shoot 3 bullets, stop, and just let the recoil pattern reset. So I'll hop into a private game just so I can show you guys easier without these annoying bots trying to chase me down. Okay, now I'm in a game with no bots, so I actually can show you guys this a little bit easier. So what I mean by burst firing, so if an enemy's coming around this corner and this gun has really bad recoil, I'm using the Gross, so it has like really good recoil, but if it has like really bad recoil, you can like shoot and then stop, shoot and then stop, and then shoot and then stop, because this is going to reset the recoil pattern, making it so it's all it's going to do is pretty much go straight up. So I'll show you guys against this wall so you guys can see a little bit easier. So if I were just to hold it, you can see it pretty much just goes straight up. But say this recoil was like zigzags and all weird and stuff, I would pretty much just go like this. And right here, I'm not even really controlling the recoil, but if you control the recoil while doing this, you should be able to really beam your enemies. So as you guys can see, by just burst firing, which isn't going to really kill you in the game, like you are going to be hitting more shots, so it shouldn't kill you. You can see you have way better accuracy, and this is me not even trying to control it. Here, I'll try to do one where I can try to control the burst fire. So it looks pretty much the same. It's kind of hard to control the burst, but you guys get what I mean. And the final tip I have for you guys, this one is huge. If you can do this one, then you should be able to win most of your gunfights, and that is to hit the first shot. If you hit the first shot on your enemy, it doesn't matter if they hit you, but if you hit your first shot on the enemy, for some reason it really reduces the recoil, and then it makes it pretty much so all the other bullets will hit, as long as you can control the recoil at least a little bit. So if an enemy is running around this wall, and I shoot and then my first bullet hits, I should be able to connect all the rest of my bullets as long as I can control the recoil somewhat good. So again guys, hit the first bullet. If you hit the first shot, you should be able to win the gunfight because all your other bullets should be able to connect, and you'll be able to give your enemy way more flinch. Therefore, you should be able to win the gunfight because they can't hit the rest of their bullets. And that's going to wrap it up for the best tips and tricks on how to improve your accuracy in Modern Warfare. If you guys have any recommendations, make sure you put those down in the comment section. Myself and others would be glad to hear those. But anyways, if you guys did enjoy the video, a like is always appreciated. I hope all of you have a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next upload.